Duma Nkosi, former mayor of Ekurhuleni, has passed away. He passed away on Thursday after a battle with cancer. The 64-year-old served as mayor from 2001 to 2008. He was elected to the South African Communist Party's PC at his 11th Congress back in 2011. Now, 2 years ago, he returned to Parliament. Reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones is following the story and joins us now. Good afternoon, Pule. A loss to the ANC movement and to the country. He served in various capacities. Just share with us some of the tributes to Duma Nkosi as many flocked to his home to pay their respects.
Well, yes, a very good afternoon, and there have been, amounts of tributes pouring in, not only from social media, but of course also, like we've witnessed here, such as the party ANC's Treasurer General Paul Mashatile coming in the delegation, joined by some of the members of the SACP. Now, you've just mentioned there, as I've described him, as a comrade with great stature, having such credentials, like we've known him as having been in Parliament from 1994, 2001. He then went to go become the Ekurhuleni mayor, second Ekurhuleni mayor from 2001, 2008, and just like you've mentioned there, being elected as a PEC member in 2011 at the SACP's 11th conference, then becoming the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Trade and Industry and Competition in 2019. Those are very great, healthy track records that some have described as the late Duma Nkosi has having carried there, but most importantly also being part of the generation of the 1976, which forged ahead with fighting the oppressive apartheid system in the country. But joining me right now is Ubaba Mncane, Mr. late Duma Nkosi's brother. Thank you very much for joining us on ENCA, Baba. Now, you're the brother, of course, and I'd want to believe that you've shared very great, fond moments. Can you just describe to us how everything has been?
Yes, Duma Nkosi is my brother. I'm the last at home. He's the one that has always been the pillar of strength for me in particular. In all the instances when he was involved in the people's struggle and fighting as hard as they can, he was the one that ensured that the family and everybody else lives their lives in the better way. And when he got married and had kids, he never forgot any person that stayed with him, and including ourselves as families. So he was always there, not only for us as families, but also for the community, particularly where he comes from. He played for a team called Amavarara, and he was the honorary president of the team. He was always there. When they have a walk, he's always there. And the community in our area in Snawane, where he grew up, he was always there, and everybody knew. And what was very interesting about him, and most interesting, he will interact with individuals as if they are important to him, individually, so not as a group. But what I will also want to indicate that you can tell now that in Thokoza, he was one of the pillars of the area. If you look at comrades who are coming in and having discussions about what is happening from the SDUs and other issues, they all are indicating that he was their mentor. He developed them like he is a mentor to all of us. I mean, if you look at the family, you look at my mother, you look at the wife, the kids, and his brothers, me and my elder brother, he has always been a mentor. He has always been the strength that we rely on. So that's what Duma Nkosi was all about.
Thank you very much. I will join you in just a few moments again. I know that you will be around, we will be talking to you, but we'll just want to interact with some of the delegation of ANC members who have been arrived here. And of course, we send our deepest condolences to the family. But Ngzoba, now with the whole day today, and we'll continue speaking.
Okay, no, so
okay, thank you very much. Mfundo, I just have to bring in this element of the story. I'm just going to ask my colleague, Ditiro, just to try and mount off his camera. I will apologize for the shaky visuals that will be coming through right now, but particularly we need to speak, of course, to the ANC Treasurer General Paul Mashatile, joined with the likes of Pule Mabe right now. I've been instructed that we will be having just a Q&A session here, and of course we just want to hear what the TG has to say.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm ready, guys.
The TG is just going to quickly convey our message of condolences. We came here at Comrade Duma Nkosi's house to come and pay our condolences on behalf of the African National Congress National Executive Committee. We are led here by our TG. Over to you, TG.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pule. As Comrade Pule said, we are here to convey our condolences to the family of Comrade Duma Nkosi. Duma Nkosi is well known to most of you. He worked with us from the 70s. I mean, he was a trade unionist, he was a civic leader. At some point, we actually appointed him or elected him the mayor of Ekurhuleni, executive mayor. He was a member of parliament. The important thing with Comrade Duma is that he was a very disciplined member of the African National Congress, the SACP, as I said, a trade unionist, selfless leader who served our people very well. We are saddened by his sudden demise. However, we will celebrate his legacy of selflessness, of service to the people. We will always remember him as a man who really gave his all to his people. He worked very hard, and even here in Ekurhuleni, comrades will always remember him as a comrade who was down to earth. Comrade Duma was not a man of positions. He just wanted to work. I remember in most cases when I met with him, there's something I remember that he used to say, characteristic of a worker leader, he would say, Comrade Paul, pushing all over. That's how he would explain that we are working on the ground. So we want to say to the family our sincere condolences. We have already been inside to see them, and they have also briefed us that they would like to have the funeral on Friday. There are other processes that our ANC caucus is still busy with the city, because he was, as I said once, an executive mayor of Ekurhuleni. So there is a possibility that there will be a civic funeral once the council has met to make those decisions. So yes, we want to say we are weaker without Comrade Duma as African National Congress and our allies, but will be strengthened by the fact that he worked very hard when he was with us, disciplined, focused, and a selfless leader.
Paul, Duma Nkosi passed on at a time when the ANC is not in good shape. I mean, the municipality used to lead. It's no longer in the ANC's hands, and he passed on, living amongst his own people. Is there maybe anything that you would implore ANC members to really learn from such leaders?
I've just addressed the comrades who are here to say to them, we have to go back to the people. We want to make sure that the people must see that we're working very hard to address the challenges that they face. And I said to them, even though we are liberated, we're not free, because there are many people out there who still don't have houses, who don't have jobs, and they look upon the ANC to be able to improve their lives. And we must show that we are working hard to do that. That's the only way we can come back into power in the municipality and everywhere else. It's hard work on the ground, focus on addressing the challenges that our people are facing.
Paul, maybe just on that issue as well, like my colleague just mentioned, the Ubab Duma wanted to see the progression of the party going forward steadfastly. So, but there are still challenges as well, such as the issue of salaries and staffers. Is that something the party is still going to be looking into and dealing with? Because I remember previously there was a commitment that this issue would be resolved. Now these staffers are about to go into Christmas with no hope of having a salary. But most importantly, January 8 is coming again, and they will be expected to be there. What is the way forward from here, Prapol?
Okay, let me start with January 8. We will have January 8 in Limpopo next year. The officials of the ANC and members of the National Executive will arrive in Limpopo on the 4th to visit various areas to connect with communities, because we're not going to have a big rally. The COVID restrictions allows us for 700 indoors or 2,000 in a stadium. My team and those from the SGO are meeting with Limpopo comrades on Tuesday to finalize those arrangements. But we can't have a big rally. That's why we're saying to NEC members, go visit various communities, engage with communities, check what their challenges are, because they can't come to the rally. We can only have 2,000 people if we go to a stadium. So January 8 preparations are unfolding as we speak. With respect to staff and salaries, we are making arrangements that they should receive something before Christmas. The challenge we have, and if I may repeat it again, is that 70% of our income comes from the private sector. And once there was a law that requires disclosure, many people have pulled back. So we struggle to raise funds. There are solutions that we are working on for the future. One, we have requested the government to consider increasing party funding. We have engaged with the Minister of Finance and their teams, and their response has been quite positive for next year. But we obviously have to survive until the end of this financial year, which is March, and we'll have to continue to basically go and talk to the private sector organizations. We've also asked our own members to contribute. You'll recall that in July we launched a crowdfunding initiative where we asked our members to contribute. We've also asked our members to contribute through levies, and they've been doing it very well. All the ministers of the ANC, MPs, councillors, mayors contribute to the African National Congress. But of course, we are a big organization, so those resources are always not enough. But yes, I thank you for always being concerned about the ANC staff, but we will continue to take care of them.
Cutting short from TG, the National Executive Committee of the ANC said on Friday, and there were a number of issues obviously that were on the table, but one issue that I would say was topping the agenda was that KZN provincial structure wanted the ANC to discuss or to be part of the court battle or the appeal process by the former president. Has that been tabled and has that been ventilated in that meeting?
No, what we said, and we did issue a statement, is that as the African National Congress, we note the decision of the court and the processes that are unfolding, and that we will leave it at that for now. Whatever the province said of KZN, we said we will engage with them. So arrangements are made for us from head office to discuss with them and to urge them to leave the processes to unfold. We note them for now.
And aren't you scared that, leaving the matter the way it is, you allowing maybe some people to claim the process and even to claim the former president, to say, okay, we can be part of the case if the ANC doesn't want?
Which people are thinking of?
At some point, Andy Lemfritama claimed the ANC president, the former ANC president.
No, President Zuma belongs to us, belongs to the African National Congress. But you can't stop people in their corners to try and get some fame by thinking that they care about President Zuma. We care more about President Zuma as the African National Congress. They must leave the matter with us. He is our president.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go, Mfundo. Just those remarks coming out from the mini press, one would call here, taking place here with the Treasurer General, Paul Mashatile, of course, addressing the issue of salaries, saying this is one matter they're still looking into. Of course, we do understand it has been dragging for long, but furthermore, that they are also looking into consulting, or rather they are engaging with the leadership, provincial leadership in KwaZulu-Natal, which wanted to join party hands with the National Executive Committee on the issue of the former President Jacob Zuma court matter. And as it is right now, we will be waiting to see what are the latest developments on that story as well. But as it is, we also do understand that the funeral is expected to take place on Friday.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Pule Letshwiti-Jones, who's out at the home of the late Duma Nkosi, where the ANC is gathering to pay its last respects.